Another big story of the day to tell you about. Governor Snyder lays out his budget priorities to lawmakers today. The $50.9 billion budget puts a lot of emphasis on funding for higher education, K through 12 education, and money to fix the state's crumbling roads and bridges. We have team coverage for you on getting reaction to the governor's speech tonight. Joe Khalil will look at the impact to higher ed. Maria Hechanova looks at funding for K through 12, and Will Robinson-Smith will report on the plan to fix the state's roads and bridges. Let's start, though, with higher education. Joe?
Jane, the governor's proposed a 2% increase to the budget for higher education. Now, we spoke with Michael Boulos from the Council of State Universities, and he says that this is a good sign, but it's not going to cover the losses for the past decade. Now, just here at MSU alone, tuition's gone up about 15% in the past 4 years or so because of budget cuts. Boulos says that while this is a positive step, the state's going to need to continue to do more.
We appreciate the fact that the governor has proposed for the second year in a row an increase in higher education. While it's a step in the right direction, I think we need to invest more in higher education if we want to begin to be a prosperous state. I mean, you look at the numbers, we're still 150 million under where we were 2 years ago. On a per student basis, we're nearly 50% below where we were in 2000.
The governor also proposed that K through 12 schools get a 2% increase in education funding. I spoke with several superintendents around the area who say the idea is a step in the right direction.
Lansing's not going to be one of the beneficiaries of an increase in the foundation allowance, but some of my colleagues will be, and that's good news for education in Michigan.
I think that that's a reasonable start. It's better than it has been in the past, and as I say, I'd like to look at it in more details. We would certainly think that they're based upon what's happened the last 3 to 5 years, that 2% is just the start, and we would like more.
One of the other main points that the governor made sure to hit on today was to talk about infrastructure. This was an echo of his State of the State address in which he called for a $1.2 billion increase to that part of the budget to improve our roads. This is going to come in two parts. The first is a fuel tax increase, and the second is going to come from a vehicle registration increase. Combined, it's going to be about $120 per vehicle per year out of your pocketbook. But the governor says if we don't act on this right now, if we wait about 10 years, it's going to cost the state about $25 billion.
The governor is spot on. He's taken a leadership role and leaning on the user fees. The people that use the system pay for the system, and that's the beauty of what's being proposed.
All right, thank you, Will, Maria, and Joe. And remember, these are just proposals. State lawmakers have to approve this budget, and we'll have much more on the story coming up for you on 6 News at 6.